All right, welcome back to the show. So we tried to reach Thorny, and she ain't answer her phone. Well, I mean, she does work for a living. I mean, she does have a job. So we'll continue the effort to try to get Thorny switch on to represent the women on Women's Wednesday. But back to the little storylines in the games this weekend. Once again, the first game of the day on Saturday. Kickoff is at 4:35 p.m. on Fox. You got the Seattle Seahawks on the road right here in ATL, taking on the Atlanta Falcons at the Georgia Dome. What is the spread in this one? And you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Let me see if I can find the spread for you quickly. We talked about it a little bit in the last segment. You're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They don't actually have the spread yet, or they don't list the spread what I'm looking at right now. I should have had that. I apologize. The Falcons have to be a favorite. I think they're like a 3.5 points favorite. But you have to remember one thing about the Falcons, once again, about that offense. They can score. They rank second in total yards and first in points. So the Falcons are going to be able to score. The whole question is about the defense. Can you keep this veteran-laden team in relative terms and the Seattle Seahawks out of the end zone enough times? The Falcons are going to score points. I think that the Falcons get it done. So that's game one. Game number 2 on Saturday is you have the Houston Texans on the road taking on the New England Patriots. A couple little storylines from this game. Yeah. A couple little storylines from this game is, once again, this is a game that's kind of a rematch. Not kind of a rematch. It is a rematch. The two teams played against each other earlier in the year. And in that particular game, the Seahawks, obviously, they got crushed. They got destroyed in this particular game, 27-0, when they played earlier in week 3 of the season. So basically the question is, what's changed about the Texans from week 3 in the season to now in the divisional round of the playoffs? The Texans had the league's best defense in the regular season, allowing 301.3 yards per game on average. In Foxborough, though, in week 3, Patriots team starting Tom Brady at quarterback, the Texans allowed only 282 yards and still lost 27-0. So in relative terms, they had a good day, but it still wasn't enough as Tom Brady came back, man, and just absolutely lit them up. So what's changed about this team, man? Just more in sync. The fact that they've gone through a season, and they're also getting back a Jadeveon Clowney who's starting to play at the level which everybody thought that he could play coming out of college from the University of South Carolina. So that's the big thing, the big difference, I think, between the Texans earlier in the year is they just had time to gel more. And obviously, not having J.J. Watt is big, but having the emergence of Jadeveon Clowney, man, as being one of the top players in defense, being one of the most disruptive players in football has been big. So that's a big change. And also something that's a storyline about the New England Patriots from the Patriots' perspective is, can they play championship defense to the level that they've been accustomed to over the years and winning their Super Bowls under Tom Brady and cheating-ass, head coach Bill Belichick? Because they haven't played that dominant type defense that they've had over the years. Now, they don't have Vince Wilfork in the middle. As a matter of fact, Vince Wilfork is now playing for the Houston Texans, so they don't have Vince Wilfork. They also, speaking of players they don't have, is the big thing that I talked about, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show, is they don't have Rob Gronkowski to lean on as far as a guy that's going to be a chain mover for this team. So even all of that being said, man, the Patriots were just 16th in the league with 34 sacks. They had only 13 interceptions and 23 total takeovers or takeaways, which are both kind of like middle of the league type numbers. Most people are expecting the Patriots to win this game going away handedly. There's not a line for this game yet that I'm looking at right now, and I don't know why. Maybe the spread is so big based on what happened early in the year when the Patriots just destroyed Houston once again, 27-0 on the road. So maybe there's, still. Oh, actually, there's a line. I apologize. The line that I'm looking at right now is New England by 15.5. And so that's a huge number. I talked about it earlier this week. Like, you rarely see a team be favored more than 10 points. So the fact that they got this thing at like 15.5 points says a lot. Most people expect the Patriots to roll, even though they probably have the playbook of the Houston Texans right now. So a lot of people expect the Patriots to roll in this one this weekend, especially Grego. Yeah. From the People's Champ in the chat room says it's Brock Osweiler time. Yeah, that's something else you got to consider as well. Brock Osweiler probably had his best game of his career being the starting quarterback at the Houston Texans last week. Probably. I don't expect that again. Don't expect that again. Different situation, different circumstances, different place, different venue. It's the Patriots. Once again, they probably got their playbook already. Expect Brock Osweiler to be Brock Osweiler this weekend. From Sidney Jackson, Brock Osweiler is so sorry that the Patriots won't need to cheat to beat Houston. Wow, that's saying a lot. From Brian Hill in the chat room on Spreaker.com, line moved up. A lot of money on the Falcons. Don't know if that's good or bad. And talking about the Falcons, matter of fact, the line right now, it is 3.5. I mentioned 3.5 earlier. It's still 3.5. I think it was 4.5 when it first came out. And so it's going down to 3.5. Listen, Seattle's a great team. We know that. They're a great organization, have been for the last couple of years. Obviously going to 2 Super Bowls. Should have won 2 Super Bowls. But, I don't think they got enough this year to do it, man. They haven't been playing that dominant brand of football like we've seen in the last couple of years. They just haven't. They're good. They're a great team. Now, obviously, if you make it to this point in the season, you're one of the 4 teams left in the NFC. That says you're a great team. But I'm telling you, man, the Falcons, I think they get it done. I think they get it done big, 10 points or more. From Sidney Jackson, unless Clowney is going to play quarterback, I don't see how Texas will score with that Brock Osweiler under center. Yeah, it's going to be on the road. Weather conditions probably going to come into play. Your quarterback is Brock Osweiler. The Patriots already have your playbook. This could be one of those games where they don't score a point. Yeah, I could theoretically see, once again, they lost early in the year 27-0. I could see that. Like, I could see them not getting past the 50-yard line all day long, outside of a turnover or something by New England. Yeah, I can see this being a very, very lopsided affair between the Patriots and the Texans this weekend. It's hard to beat the Patriots in any regard, especially if your quarterback is Brock Osweiler. You're on the road, and it's snowing, and they got your playbook. Cheating bastards. Yeah, I can imagine it. All right, we get back from the break. Let's talk about the other 2 games from this weekend. Pittsburgh and KC, and the Green Bay Packers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Kind of talk about some of those storylines. Maybe we'll get Thorny on. We'll see. I was looking forward to it because I knew we were going to have a great conversation, unlike last weekend. And also, I meant to talk about this earlier, but I got busy talking about the Dylan Roof thing. A confirmed story where Charles Oakley slaps a man in his face. You're not going to believe who the man is. I'll tell you about it up next. The Doug Stewart Show.
Driven, lyricist chasing infinite time and space, no breaks the place, finish it, loving it, living it, this life till the end of it, life's every given moment, we hold it and own it, passionate, driven, lyricist chasing infinite time and space, no breaks the place, finish it, loving it, living it, this life till the end of it, life's every given moment, we hold it and own it.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, spoke light into existence, formed earn as our birth, life's worth, unspoken price you cannot pay, accumulated through your influence night and day. I pray a prayer of fulfillment till this world reaches brilliant. Our increase, resilience speaks loud, we don't feel it. We numb for the thrills, get drugged up and kill. It's not why we real, the truth soon revealed.
I stick my nose to the grind and rhyme like clockwork over beats that are hard with drums to neck jerk. Got a smirk on my face, check the twinkle in my eye. We bring the noise to the streets like it's New Year's live. And hi-fi stereo, we coming louder than rock. It's that homegrown talent from these LA city blocks. Hard knocks, hard times, these raps are soul driven. The passion for this music is the reason why we live in.
Passionate, driven, lyricist chasing infinite time and space, no breaks the place.